Good morning. Just going to update some big levels coming into payroll. So the ones that the most important, primarily looking at monthly levels, which are blue lines, and we're starting off with the euro-dollar 116.17. Third range deviation pivot down is 115.91. So they are the two reference points. At the moment, the dollar index, having stopped at 93.86.5, is just slightly above it at the moment. So whether we close above or below will really dictate whether we're going to rotate back down towards the monthly level or open up what is a huge amount of space up towards 98. Talked about the Aussie dollar yesterday and how we were interested at 77.79. The low was actually 86 yesterday, so it didn't get to our level. We've been below it overnight, so it's a pretty pivotal point, a little bit like the dollar index. 3 down is at 77.15, so again a very important close today. It's been an unrelenting slide for the pound this week, and we close below the daily level at 131.52, so that is the reference above. Note that there is a huge amount of space all the way down to 119.88. Dollar CAD has been hovering around 124.60 key monthly level. The low yesterday was 124.61, so just one tick below. Still the reference on the downside, but really at the moment already looks like it's broken up and heading to 127.79. Dollar yen is something that hasn't really got any important close reference points. A minor one at 111.72. Which is about 120, 130 below where we are now. Dollar up, gold down. This 12.62 is getting closer and closer. 3 down is down at 12.55. So an important level there at 12.62. 51.11 has been a consistent important point for crude. Topped out yesterday at 51.22, which was actually a short-term level to the tick. So 51.11 to 22 is the reference above. There is no reference as such below. T-bonds 152.01 has been a consistent short-term half-day level. We've hit it 3 or 4 times in the last week or so. This is the first time we've actually got below it. We have a daily level at 150.30 and 151.04 is the third range deviation pivot, so a zone of support on a strong number today, but basically at the moment breaking down. A close below 152.01 would be negative. In Europe, Bund's pretty condensed. There's a whole raft of daily levels which it's sort of had to try and fight its way through, and it's now back below those. So support is distant at present. So be wary of a sharp break on a strong number. Talked about some minor negatives on equities, namely the Russell, which had been the leader. We stormed ahead yesterday. No sign of a top whatsoever. We actually went to 3 up yesterday, which sort of capped the move. Normally, the history of payroll, it doesn't matter what the number is, the stock market goes up on the day. So I was interested in seeing whether that pattern continues. But at the moment, no end to this rally in sight. Put us on the DAX. The DAX yesterday closed at new all-time highs above that monthly level. It's really underperformed compared to the States, so it's sort of going up kicking and screaming. Euro stocks, we did get a series of negatives and some steps ending earlier this week, and in the same sort of fashion it still hasn't taken out those highs from that segment. But really 35.66 is the first level that would need to be breached to give it any sign of weakness. Been asked quite a few questions this week about indexes on the channel, about when is this rally ever going to end, and how it's looking like. And one of the things I like to look at is what the value of an index is on a worldwide currency basis. So effectively take this is the S&P, and it's going through 9 major currencies, so putting it in a sort of basket. And where it says 35.78 is actually how much the market is up since the election last year. And the rally recently has been very, very strong. So as the dollar has sort of weakened generally over the last year or so, then that makes it cheaper to foreign investors. So 35% up. I think the market in dollar terms is in the low 20s, so it's outperformed. This is the Nasdaq, and while the Nasdaq made new highs yesterday, so finally took out that final weekly level, actually in worldwide currency terms it's stronger and is up pretty staggering 42%. So as I've said before, we don't stand in front of the truck. Prices can seem a little bit rich, but that doesn't mean that the trend can't continue. So the markets are very strong. Just as a reference point for the DAX in worldwide terms is actually at the same performance as the DAX itself, so it's just sitting right at its all-time high. So that sort of emphasizes the fact that the DAX is not as strong as America. Okay, we'll see what happens. Have a good week.